everyone. Welcome back to Success with Jess. I am so excited for today's episode, and thank you all so much for tuning in, of course. I mean, we are really like rolling with all these podcasts. We are just like throwing them out one after another. We got like our filming schedule all through September. Like, we are just like really seriously becoming podcasters.
Doing it.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. And you know, you guys, I can't thank you enough for all of you that are subscribing to the YouTube channel. I mean, my subscribers are incredible, and I can see like the ratio of non-subscribers to subscribers growing up. Yes, going up. Yes. Okay, you know, all the same. And if you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you guys leave me a review because I'm reading them and I love it. It's so fun. Don't leave me a bad one though. Like whatever you do. I mean, not cool. Okay. So today is an episode that we're going to talk about parenting. And to be honest with you, like we don't edit these podcasts or anything. It's just kind of like me talking about what I believe in. And I'm a little nervous for this episode. A little bit. I don't know why. This is like the first one. Yes. Because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you know, how did you raise such awesome kids? And thank you so much, first of all. And now that I look back at it, I feel like I know what I was doing, but like everyone else, I'm just a first-time mom, you know, just we're all here for one time on this earth. And I'm like, wow, I gotta like share what I did. I gotta like give my tips and tricks and secrets, and I don't know. It's kind of scary. It's a little scary. So, like, if you ever wanted to see a nervous Jess, this is her right here. Here she is. Yes. Okay. So, I guess I'm going to start out with a story. I'm going to start out with one of, I think, my greatest parenting feats is like teaching my kids to be compassionate, you know? And I said, no matter what you guys do in life, I want you to care for others. And that's like the most important thing for me. And we'll take it back a little bit. When I was a young girl, my brother was killed in a car accident. He was 16 years old, and it was really hard on my family. And, you know, you don't know what to do. And like the years keep going by, and it's like, how do you celebrate it? What do you make of those anniversaries that you're faced with? And I was at the grocery store buying flowers to take to the cemetery, and JoJo was probably 3. And she said, let's get an angel food cake. And I said, okay. And she said, let's have a picnic at the cemetery today and let's have an angel day. And I said, well, okay, This is amazing, right? Because as a mom, I'm trying to shelter her. And Jane was at school, by the way, I wasn't leaving him out, how I felt. You know, I wasn't happy that day, but I wasn't sad that day. I didn't know how I felt, and I didn't want to drag my kids into sadness, but I thought, how intuitive for her to be so compassionate, to know that I believe in angels, and to suggest getting an angel food cake. And it was a beautiful day. Let's go have a picnic. So we did that on April 1st, which was the anniversary of his car accident. And that was something we continued on for ever. Like she would say, Mom, April 1st is in a week and we got to get an angel food cake and we're going to have a picnic. She was always like my sidekick for this angel food cake day to celebrate my brother. And I just loved it. It was like the most peaceful, happy thing. And we would always go sit in the grass and we would just talk, and we didn't even cut the cake. We would just like buy the cake in the like plastic like tin thing that it came in, and we just like rip it apart and just eat it and just talk. And it was so fun. And then fast forward to we moved to LA and my mom passed away. And just recently she passed away, and we kind of started the angel food cake thing with her, but there's not a cemetery to go to or something like that. It's more just like we have one, and we just kind of know what the day is for us. And we happened to be in Vegas a couple weeks ago when it was my mom's anniversary of her birthday. And JoJo said, she surprised me. She had the lady that was watching our house go to the store and get an angel food cake. Aww. And so when I came home, I was like, I know, right? I was like kind of keeping the day to myself because we were celebrating Tom's birthday and we were coming home from Vegas. And then I come home and she had arranged for an angel food cake to be there. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, for a kid to be so compassionate and so caring and to think like that and to have that there, I'm like, I succeeded. I did it. Like I created a human that literally cares for others so much. And it's the same with both my son and my husband. Like they all knew what the angel food cake meant. Like we didn't even have to say anything. And I was like, no, you didn't. Like she's like, yeah, I did. You know, we couldn't let the day go by. And it's just like so remarkable to think that we as parents can teach our kids whatever we want them to learn. Miranda, are you crying?
I'm crying. Sorry.
So did I. See, it's like, yeah. Like Nate, you were here too, and we were just eating angel food cake, and it's just no like, idea. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, wow. It's just angel food cake day, and you'll see them. They come 3 or 4 times a year. You know, just angel food cake day.
Wow.
And a lot of like my mom's sisters, you know, have said like, what do you do? And I always say, we're having an angel food party because it's for our angels. You know, that's what we do. And it helped us. So I guess, my first advice is teach your kids what you want them to learn. Yeah. I wanted my kids to be compassionate. I wanted them to care for others, and I wanted them to be kind. So I taught them that. And I really just got the most overwhelming sense of pride that day when that happened. So that teach your kids what you want them to learn. And another thing we'll talk about, I guess, is some of the things that I believe in my house that I want. You know, I want my house to be quiet. I want my house to be peaceful. I don't let my kids run around and scream and play loud music. I want my house to be like super calm. And ironically, JoJo is not calm. Well. It's so funny to me that she's so loud, but she never bothers us. You know, she's always just like, Mom, and she talks loud. And she kind of like balances out the quietness of our house. You know, I've met some parents that only play classical music in their house and stuff like that. You know, we're not like that. I just don't want loud. My husband gets so mad at me because he loves like hairband music and I hate hairband music. And so like I can't even listen to it. So like I just can't have anything like that in my house. And so another thing I did this week is when I was going to do this episode is I said to my kids, I said, what do you guys think makes a great parent? Like me, I mean, not to be like braggy about myself, but I was, you know, we're talking about this podcast and I said, people ask me what my secret was. And so I asked Jaden and I said, Jaden, what makes me a great parent? And I will tell you what he said. He said to me, Mom, without even hesitating, he said, you're always down to listen. And I said, yeah, I am, you know, and he's like, you're always just, you're ready to listen because sometimes kids don't need to be told what to do. They just need to get it out. They need to get it off their chest and they need to know that you will listen without telling them the answer and let them go find the answer. So according to my 20-year-old son, I'm always down to listen. That's what he told me. So I was always down to listen. And then when I asked JoJo, sorry, my chair's a little wiggly here. She said, you will share anything with us. And I find this ironic because she is a germaphobe. Okay. So like she will like not drink out of a straw. I guess with Corona now, no one should, but she wouldn't drink out of a straw that anyone would drink out of. Or like if she had a sandwich, she wouldn't be able to eat it if someone had taken a bite out of it. And I thought it was really awesome that she said you would share anything with us. And I was in the car with her one day and I explained to her that moms don't care. Like, I'm like, you literally could vomit in my hands right now and I wouldn't care. Like, that's what a mom is. And she was just like, ew, I don't get it, you know, and just, I'm like, you won't until you have a mom. Like the biggest thing I can tell you to compare it to is your dog, you know, like moms just will do anything for their kids. Like if you have a cut and you need like help, like we can stitch it up for you. Like you're our kid, like we do not care. And she just like was totally mesmerized by that. So I hope other moms out there too, like always realize like kids can see that, you know, like you'll share anything or like, no, that's mine. You can't have any. Like they pick up on that and they notice that. Another thing JoJo said is that you put us first. Wow, that's pretty good that you noticed that because I do. Yeah, right. Like that's all I do is put both of you first. And I love putting my kids first. Like, it gives me like a purpose to wake up in the morning and take care of my kids. That's all I want to do. And I'm a mom first. Like, from all the careers I've had, to like working in a fast food restaurant, to being on Dance Moms, and now being a momager to JoJo, and now being a podcaster, like, I definitely am a mom first. Like, honestly, if JoJo came in here or Jaden while I was podcasting, I would have to be like, hold up, everybody. Jaden, what do you need, honey? You know, so like, definitely I put my kids first, and I hope everybody can do that in life. I know it's hard sometimes to put your kids first, because I know sometimes you are busy and you are on your phone. Was not one of my kids. And you would think I would know to silence my phone. I mean, this is the second time this has happened in like 10 episodes. You guys, embarrassing. I need a little cue card that says, please silence your phones and listen to the podcast. So I just thought it was really cool that she noticed that I put her first and put Jaden first, and Tom, of course, too. And another thing she told me, she said, is you don't quit on your people. And I feel like sometimes it's easy to quit. I feel like that is the easy road. And I never want to take the easy road. I always want to take the hard road. I love the hard road. I love something that is so 1% chance of success. I'm like, oh, there's a 1% chance? Oh yeah, we're going to make this happen. You know, I love that. And I love not giving up. And especially lately, in the past probably a year and a half with Jaden, we've had a lot of those moments where we're like, should you go to college? Should you just maybe get a job? Do you want to be a YouTuber? And I never gave up on the YouTuber for him, because I know he loves it. And we just couldn't find like what the brand was and what he liked. And now we found it, and now he loves it. And JoJo's like in the car, she's like, I got to give you credit. You never gave up. And so that, I guess, would be my next little tidbit. Like, don't give up on your kids. Don't give up. Whether it's a spelling grade, something simple, or like teaching them to read, or getting them to hit the ball and not strike out. Just believe in your kids. Like, be that one person that they know is going to believe in them. And I just think that will empower kids. I think, and I always tell my kids this, like, I think it's hard to be a kid today. I think it's really hard with social media and school and pressure. And it's not cliche. It's real. Like, it's really, really, really hard to be a kid. And everything, I feel like, is so next level. You know, if you want to be a dancer, you basically have to dance 5 days a week, take private lessons 3 days a week, or you're not considered serious. You know, if you want to be on a baseball team, you got to be on a select team, and you got to travel, and you got to work out, or you're not considered serious. You know, so be there for your kids, champion them, and support them. And, you know, if they want to be like, oh, I don't want to dance anymore, get them going. Like, get them more like fired up. And I love that phrase, fired up. I've been following some people on Instagram, and they post all the time that they're fired up. And I was like, that's an interesting way to say it, you know? And that's what I think we need to do for our kids. We need to get them fired up. I think it's a really strange time right now. And I don't know, you know, what it's like to be a kid and be ripped out of school. But I do know what it's like to be a parent and take your kids out of school. Like, you got to get them excited. Kids are going to get on board with whatever you think is great. They're going to believe you. And then 10 years from now, I promise you, they're going to be like, Mom, you really helped me get through that. And you really made it great for me. And that's just what I want to do. I just want to make everything great for my kids.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Does that mean you never tell them no? Is the sky the limit in everything that they do?
No. I'm a great no person. Actually, I tell my kids no a lot. It's so funny because I was with my sister's kids one time, and my little niece, who I love, she's like one of my favorite girls in the world, said to me, how come you never tell your kids no? And I was like, well, that's not true. And I do tell my kids no. I tell my kids no a lot, because they need to be told no. And my kids know, like, no means no. Don't beg me. Don't be like, but Mom. Like, if I say no, it's no. And most recently, I was in Las Vegas with JoJo, and she wanted to jump off that Stratosphere building. And I was like, no, like, I don't want you to, JoJo. And she didn't say a word to me. She just got really sad and really quiet. And I kind of, 50% of me was like, I think she's going to be okay with it, because she can't want to do this. Like, there's no way she can want to jump off this building, right?
Right.
And so I told her no. And then Nate was like, she's really sad. And I was like, really? And so I talked to her and I was like, okay, I just said no because I said no, because I think it's dangerous. And if you want to use me for a cop out and be like, my mom said no, and you still want to look cool to all your friends, like, I'm fine with that. She's like, no, Mom, I really want to do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I let like another 20 minutes go by because I really wanted to make sure she really wanted to do it, because like,
torture.
She's like my baby, you know, like it's like you want to jump off a building. So I was like, okay, you can do it. Like, I'm fine with it. I'm 100% fine. She's like, no, you said no. And I'm like, okay, now this is getting awkward. Like, I want you to do it if you want to do it. She's like, but you said no. And I'm like, okay, but you're going to do it. Like, I want you to do it. You're going to do it. Go do it with your dad, and let's not talk about it anymore. You know, it was a little bit longer than that, but basically she knew that I said no, and I didn't want that to happen. And she was not happy about it, but she moved on. Yeah. And going back to like when she was little, she wanted to spend the night at all these people's houses. And I'm a paranoid parent. I mean, if you're a paranoid parent, come hang out with me, because I am paranoid, okay? Like, yeah. I literally drive in my car and I'm like, oh, I wonder what my kids are doing. I wonder if they're safe. I wonder if the alarm's set in the house. You know, like I worry. And then if my kids go somewhere, oh my God, all I do is worry. So when I was a young parent, younger than I am now, and JoJo wanted to spend the night, I'm like, no, they have older brothers. No, I don't know. Like, what if somebody wants you to sneak out and you don't want to sneak out? You know, what if, no, you're not spending the night at people's houses. And she just knew. Then she's like, okay, well, you guys have to spend the night at my house. I'm like, my house is safe. I know my house is safe. You cannot. I'm paranoid. Even my husband is like, you're so paranoid, but yeah, we have to be, right? Yeah. I mean, it's your job to protect them. It's my job to protect them, and it's my job to know who they're around 24/7. Like, you can't be around me if I don't know you. You certainly can't be around my kids if I don't know you. And I'm fortunate that my kids don't go to school anymore. So if I had a young child in school, I would be even more protective about who I let my kids hang out with. I would let them have like one or two friends, and I would have to know their parents, and I would be that mom that would be over there. Like, I would be so embarrassing. Like, I know I would be. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I'm paranoid. So if you're paranoid, come join my club.
But you're also trusting, right?
Once you earn my trust, I give it to you.
Yeah.
Like, I would let JoJo go with Nate. I would let JoJo go with you. I let JoJo go with Jaden. I would let Jaden do the same. But yeah, once you trust me, yes, you should always trust me because I got you. But once I trust you, it's cool. Like, you're in my little bubble. I definitely have a bubble, and I don't let a lot of people in my bubble, and it's getting smaller and smaller. And I just can't do it. I can't. I'm just like, I don't trust people with their phones. I don't trust people. But if I trust you, consider yourself very lucky. If I follow you on Instagram, consider yourself very lucky. Like, the people that are coming into my world are either going to make it better or equal. Like, they're not going to make it worse. They're not going to stress me out. I'm not going to be paranoid. Like, they're going to contribute to the greatness of what we're doing as a business and as a family, for sure.
What about with cell phones and your kids? Like, how do you trust them? How do you get to a place where, like, you're okay with that?
You want a great cell phone story?
I do.
I'll tell you. Okay. So Paranoid Jess, JoJo was like 6, we'll say. And she would go to cheer class, tumbling class, dance class. And I would drop her off and maybe wait in the car or say go to Target. I would stay in the area, but I felt like I was wasting a lot of time just sitting waiting for JoJo. And so I felt like if I got JoJo a phone and she had a phone in her bag, I would be a little more okay with it. So I got JoJo a phone. Same thing with Jaden. We all probably as parents worry about our kids at school with like maybe something going wrong, and you want to be able to say to your kid, are you okay? So I got Jaden a phone, and I said, put it in your pocket. I said, it stays in your pocket. It was probably in 4th grade when I did this. Yeah. Okay. But I came to the conclusion of I trusted my kids. They knew what their phone was for. And I told them, I said, I'm not going to check your phone. I'm not going to take your phone and see who you're texting. These are your phones. And I would go to things at my son's school and I would hear parents go, yeah, well, when my kid has a phone, I'm going to be taking it every night and I'm going to be sitting it on the counter and it's going to be off limits at 10 p.m. and I'm going to know everyone he's texting and everyone's DMs. And I thought, well, why are you getting your kids a phone? Because now you're going to be a phone nanny. Like, that's stupid. Okay. So I wanted my kids to have a phone and I wanted to be able to trust my kids with their phones. And to this day, I have had zero problems with my kids with their phones. And I will tell you, Jaden went to a private school where phones were not even allowed. And he had one in 4th grade and kept it in his pocket the whole time because if something went wrong at school, like if there was a fire or a tornado or something crazy, I wanted to be able to be like, are you okay? And him to go, yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Like, that's all I wanted. And yeah, it worked just fine.
Good
so
for
parents,
him.
teach your kids to be trustworthy and just... You can count on them. I promise you can count on them and get them a phone. The phone's not for them. The phone's for you. Because if JoJo, say we're at a friend's house and something was going wrong, she could be like, Mom, pick me up right now. And I always, even to this day, when she'll say, go to the beach with Beth Ann, it's embarrassing for her probably, but she has to text me like, okay, we're halfway there. Okay, we're there. Okay, we're out of the car. We're at the beach. I'm not going to be texting you for a while now. Okay, we're leaving the beach. Okay, we're almost home. Okay, we're coming around the corner. But like, I just want to know. I think it's important not to be like, bye, I'll see you at 7:00 tonight. Like, I just want to make sure everything's okay. We were on Celebrity Watch Party. It was a great show, by the way, you guys. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it on the Fox app. And we had to watch this TV show, or I think it was a movie called Taken, where the little girl was taken and the dad was on the phone with her. You guys, I lost my mind.
It's horrific.
I couldn't watch it. I literally had to go under the blanket, under the pillow, and I'm like, shut it off. I can't have it in my house. Like, get it out of here. I don't think they aired it because I could not handle it.
Worst nightmare
It's
stuff.
your worst nightmare. Yeah. Like, I just, oh God, I can't. I'm paranoid. Back to being paranoid. If you ever see my husband, just say, is Jess paranoid? I'd be like, yeah, we're working on that about everything, about just about it all.
Well, it's funny because you've passed it down now. When you guys were out of town, Jaden then became you. So when JoJo would go out, he would be like, remember to text me. And then get a text to JoJo. Like,
oh my God.
Fully assuming all of that responsibility.
Poor JoJo.
She's like, I'm good.
I'm good. Okay. I got this. And I trust them. But yeah, Jaden, he is all about taking care of everyone too. I always tell him, you're going to be the best dad and the best husband because you're so good at taking care of people and like asking people what you can do for them. That's another thing, okay, that I didn't know I was teaching my kids and I taught them this. It's a miracle. Everyone should do this. So for probably the past 2.5 years, when we all came to live together as a family, I would say to my kids, can I do anything for you? Like JoJo's working on her computer. I would say, can I help you? Can I do anything? Is there anything I can do for you? No, I'm good. Okay. Jaden's filming a YouTube video. Do you need any help? Is there anything I can do from you? No, I'm good. Okay. Or sometimes there were things and I just started asking them this all the time. You know what? They ask me now. Nice. Yes. Last night, Jaden comes downstairs. I was kind of like tidying up because I have a huge interview later on my podcast. And I was kind of tidying up and getting ready. He comes downstairs. Mom, can I help you? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? And I'm like, this is the best, most miracle thing I ever instilled in my kids. Like, I can't even believe it. So moms out there, start asking your kids if they need help because they will just return the favor. It's like a miracle, I promise. I also taught my kids that if they argued, they were going to clean.
All right.
Okay. Take it in. Who likes to clean? No one. Okay. So we used to live in a 2-story house in Nebraska. And so I'd be like downstairs, like probably watching TV or something. And my kids would be upstairs. They'd be like 3 and 7. And they'd be like kind of doing that little sibling thing, you know. And I'd be like, oh, you guys are arguing. You must want to clean your rooms. And they'd be like, no, we're good. And I'm like, okay. A couple days later, you know, we'd be in the backyard swimming in the pool and they'd be arguing about whose goggles were whose. Okay, side note, do anyone's kids wear those goggles with the nose pieces? Those are the only ones my kids would wear. And so like, it was like so hard to find them. And then they would argue about them. And it was always a big deal. And I'd be like, oh, you guys are arguing. You must want to clean. And now, you know what? It took about 6 months of that. Me just kind of saying like, you guys must want to clean. And Now they don't argue. Now they just pretty much get along, and it's just a habit. One time they got in serious trouble, though. Serious trouble. Both of my kids did. They went to the park, and they came home, and I was so mad at them, and I was like, clean my car. That was their punishment for getting in trouble. They had to clean my car. And it was like probably 90 degrees out. It was so hot. And I felt so bad for them, but I was like, just clean my car. Like, clean my car. We're not even talking about it. Clean my car. And then, everything was great because they cleaned my car and I was happy, and they I don't like the yelling and the back and forth and all that. And they did a good deed and everything was fine. And we just moved on with our lives. But that I can literally think like that's the only time in their lives they got in trouble, and they had to clean my car. I also try to teach my kids to like respect everyone and respect everything. When I was in high school, I had an English teacher, and she would say, oh, we're going to read, we'll just use Romeo and Juliet for an example. And the class would be like, oh, I don't want to read that, like whatever. And she would say, now I'm going to teach you guys. You do not like this. You fail to appreciate it. And so I was like, well, that's interesting because this is genius. And you're right, we are cool. We are in high school. We do fail to appreciate that. So I've taken that from my high school experience and tried to instill that in my kids. Like if we have to do something they don't want to do, I'll be like, you guys, you're just failing to appreciate this. Like that is kind of my quote. And they kind of didn't like pick up on it and like as much as I thought they would, but it's kind of something that I use to like, maybe if they don't want to do something to kind of nudge them to it. Like you don't fail to appreciate anything. Also as a parent, I don't want to be super bossy. I remember being a kid and I wanted to do things. I just didn't want people to tell me to do them.
Right.
Did you feel like that growing up?
For sure.
Yeah. So I try to let my kids just kind of figure things out and ask for help if they need it. And I don't know, Miranda, should we talk about chores?
Let's talk about chores. Did the See What Children Have chores?
Oh my God. You guys, I like tried that. I tried like, like when you're like a new parent and you're like, I'm going to make a chore chart.
Yes.
Okay. So embarrassing. Did anybody watch the show like 19 Kids and Counting with like all the Duggars?
Yes.
Okay. So me too. Yeah, me too. Okay. I'm a huge Duggar fan. So I also read their book.
Stop it.
Yeah. I liked them because they were, in my eyes, a really good, wholesome family. Now they had some scandals, but like on the TV show, they were a wholesome family to me. And I thought, gosh, if my family could be that loving, I would love that. So they did chores. The Duggars did chores. And for each chore the kids did, they got a penny. Okay. Woo. Woo. Right. Okay. Now this mind you, this is probably in like 2006 when I thought this was cool. Okay. So maybe like 2 cents now. All right. So I told Jaden, I'm like, Jaden, I'm going to give you a penny for everything you do. Like if I'm like, hey, Jaden, can you bring me a wash rag? That's a penny. Okay. So this was my brilliant idea. Like I was going to give Jaden a penny for everything. You guys, no, that was the stupidest idea I ever had. Like, how do you keep track of a penny? And like, your kid would have to do 100 things to get a freaking dollar. Okay, $1. Like, it's not even worth my time to make the chart that has 100 check marks in it and to count them. Like, that was a very, very losing situation. Okay, so I've then grown up. Okay, I stopped modeling after that, and I've done tag team. Okay, so I would say to my kids, you guys, the kitchen is so messy. It's gonna take me like an hour to clean it, but if we all tag team, it's gonna take us 10 minutes. And they'd be like, yeah, let's tag team. Right?
Love
okay.
that.
Yeah. Tag team. I still use it to this day. Tag team. And like, if I want my kids to do something, I try to make it funny. Like if even still, if we're at a restaurant and JoJo like wants out to get something, I'm like, yeah, be a deep sea diver and crawl under the table. What are we looking at? Oh, nothing. Sorry.
That was me leaning away to sniffle.
I thought Buddy was like walking in the room or something.
Allergies, baby.
Allergies. No, I try to make it fun for my kids. I try to make it relatable, but tag team is the best thing ever. ever. I promise you. If you can get all 4 people involved, it can be incredible. And I'm like, you guys, look how beautiful it is. And it didn't take my whole night.
Yeah.
And we use it for everyone, not just for me. Say like JoJo's been really busy and she'll be like, Mom, my room is so unorganized. It's a mess. I will rally Jaden and I will rally Tom and I obviously myself. And I'll be like, let's tag team it. We got this. You know, like Tom, get the dirty clothes. Jaden, you hang up stuff. Like in 15 minutes, it's golden. So parents, tag team. That is the best thing ever. And it's fun. You're like working together and you're talking and it's good family time. So that's the chores in our house. Don't do the whole penny chart. That's lame. Don't waste your time making a chart because if you're like me, you can't even keep up with it. And then you run out of stickers and it's just a whole nother production. And oh my gosh, just tag team it. Tag team it. Yeah.
And you have an awesome way of motivating your kids. Like you genuinely get them excited about like the smallest task.
I know. What is that?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, we're filming with Abby today too. We're filming with Abby downstairs. Yay. And so Jaden, I'm like, you got this, Jaden. I'm like, the better you make it, the happier I'll be. Like, make it amazing. Like, get like an ice bucket and like cute little cups. I'm so excited to see what he comes up with because sometimes with my husband and with my son, like I am extreme overboard and we're going to have a episode about that, about like my parties and stuff like that. But sometimes, you know, we'll have like 4 people over and Tom will be like, well, we should just get like 1 pizza. And I'm like, yeah, let's not. Okay. Because what if I order pepperoni and everyone doesn't like pepperoni? And what if I order 1 pepperoni and 1 pineapple and everyone just likes pepperoni and no one eats the pineapple, so then I have to have 2 pepperonis. Like I need to be prepared. Okay. So I have to motivate Tom and Jaden to be prepared. Like one time, this was the worst night of my life. Do you want to hear about the worst night of my life?
Please.
I still freaking remember it. Okay. We were getting ready for tour and we had this whole ballroom that was like full of costumes. I can't even tell you. It was like a machine was making these costumes. I had all my friends there. I had the dancers coming up for fittings and all this stuff. And I had ordered Sonic that night. And I do this and I'm like, what if everyone wants a corn dog? So I order lots of corn dogs. What if everyone wants a cheeseburger? So I order lots of cheeseburgers. I literally had a Sonic explosion in this room. One of these little kids comes up to me and they're like, hey, I think all the corn dogs are gone. Do you have any more corn dogs? I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? We are out of corn dogs? Like, this is not the way it's supposed to be. No, we cannot, okay? I just want everyone to have what they want and to be happy. And that was my worst nightmare that night. Like, the Sonic order was just like a mess. I was so embarrassed, so embarrassed. I did get the nickname the lunch lady on tour, though.
Stop it.
Because I'm always, like, trying to take care of people, making it great. I don't remember what city we were in that we went to catering and I was like, we can't eat this. Like, there's no way we can eat this. Nate, do you remember? I think it was in Canada.
Once a week on tour. And just like, come to my room. I have Chick-fil-A and I'll eat so much.
Yes. I sent out these mad texts. I'm like, don't eat catering today. Come to JoJo's dressing room in 45 minutes. And then we'll have this like huge spread. But the one time we were like in Canada and it was so bad. They tried, but it just wasn't for us. And so I ordered like, it's so gross, McDonald's and Domino's.
Yes.
So bad. Like it was like a room full of that food. And I was like, tell all the crew, tell everyone, tell every worker to come in here. And people were so happy. They were like, thank you so much. Just like taking their chicken nuggets and leaving. Like it was great. I don't know how we went from parenting to me feeding everyone on tour.
Because you're everybody's mom.
I'm everybody's mom. Okay,
Right.
perfect. Yes, I am everyone's mom. Yes. Actually, CJ on tour calls me Mama Jess. So I feel like on tour, I'm everyone's mom and I'm the boss. But sometimes, you know, I have a child that is also a boss. You know,
Total boss.
Yeah, and I feel like naturally it's worked itself out, and thank God. But JoJo literally could be like, "Mom, I'm not doing that." You know, she still listens to me, and she still respects me as her mom. And we were actually talking about that, and when we were writing this episode, and I told my kids that I'm so grateful for how they treat me as a mom. You know, like they always are like, I'm their mom. At the end of the day, I am their mom. And I don't even remember one night what JoJo and I were arguing about. I wish I could remember. And I said to her, I said, I'm still your mom. At the end of the day, I'm still your mom. And she's like, I know you are. You know, and I'm like, we got to figure this out. But like, you got to let me be the mom. Like, I am the mom. And she's like, I know. And obviously we figured it out because I don't even remember what the situation was. And she'll probably remember. But yeah, like she literally could be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do that. You can't make me do that. You can't make me go to set today. You can't make me do I can't really make her do anything. You know, I guess no one could make their kids do anything. But I think that teaching them to respect everyone and everything, it goes back to like one of my main philosophies of what I wanted. And having them treat me the way I want to be treated as a mom. Not just because like, oh, I am your mother and you will treat me this way. Right. It's just like I wanted them to love their mom the way I loved my mom. Like my mom was my maid of honor in my wedding. Yeah. And there's no one I would have rather had because I loved my mom so much. And I don't have to be JoJo's maid of honor in her wedding unless she wants me to. But like I want to be there for her no matter what. And the same with Jaden. I just want them to know that their mom is their mom. And it's the one person, the one female lady in life that you can count on to be by you. So I guess that I don't know if it's luck or if it's like strategy or what, but you know, I feel like I'm so grateful with how my kids have turned out, how they respect me, how they respect others. And if I could give parents any advice, just teach your kids that. Teach them to have compassion, teach them to love, teach them to be dedicated. Let them know that you're there for them. Let them know that you're always down to listen and that sometimes you don't have to talk. And just celebrate your family. You know, no family is perfect. I can promise you that. Every family has struggles and days that are bad, but try to be the mom that just makes it the best that you possibly can. Be the Pollyanna, be the Pippi Longstocking, you know, be
the Michelle Duggar.
Yeah, be the Michelle Duggar. Give your kids a penny. You know? Don't do that. Do tag team. It works a lot better, I promise you. But, you know, just to celebrate my kids and some things that we like to do, I have this really fabulous giveaway. And you guys, I'm so excited for these giveaways because I feel like Oprah. Right? Or Ellen. I feel like you get a prize. You get a prize. You know, I feel like that. So I'm just keeping these prizes running. So one thing I like to do is I like to take popcorn and I like to mix it with M&Ms because it's just so good. So you pop the popcorn, you put it in a bowl, and you put the M&Ms on top, and you sprinkle a little salt, and it is magical. So this is my secret mix right here. You get to win this. And a throwback to me and JoJo getting the G-Wagon. We're going to get a Little Caesars gift card because my family does love Little Caesars too. I mean, it's so crazy because people are like, oh, you probably only eat like Napoleon handcrafted Italian pizza. Nope. This is what we like, guys. I promise you. And it gets delivered and it's old and it's cold, just like it is at your house. And my people still eat it. I mean, I literally think my people would drink the garlic butter if they could. Okay. So you're getting a Little Caesars gift card and you're getting Jaden's favorite childhood movie, Dumbo. And if you can make it through without crying, like you win. Okay. You survived Dumbo. You should get yourself a gift. That's where we're going with this one. Yes. All right. And then Angry Birds 2, because that was JoJo's first like feature film that she was a very great small little part of. I mean, she's got this feature film Bounce coming out that she's going to be like the lead star in, but this really was her first feature animated film, and she had the two cutest little characters. And this is you guys to watch too, so you can have an amazing night with your family. And, you know, maybe you do it on a Friday and give your kids something to look forward to all week. And you talk about it and you make a paper chain and you like do all the things. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this podcast. You guys, Miranda just put up a cue card for me. This is our first cue card. Check the box. We have cue cards. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. And I sincerely appreciate all your love you have shown me on this podcast. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please make sure to subscribe to me on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And please make sure to leave me a review because I can't wait to read them. I'm trying to get my comments back on YouTube. And if you guys just want to like message YouTube and tell them I need comments, that probably would help. But like I'm trying so hard. And I am going to be posting this giveaway on my Instagram at Jesslyn Siwa to make sure that you guys know all the details and how you can win it. So make sure you check it out there. Make sure you guys do the most important thing, and that is love your life. And I love you guys so much. Peace out. Bye.